Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today I have a fragrance that was released in 2009. It's quite popular. It's received a lot of acclaim, a lot of criticism. It's been talked about a lot. It is none other than Nasomatto's Black Afgano. Here's the box. I'm going to actually show you the box on the outside. It says Black Afgano. It's a little bit hard to see if you're just looking at it straight away, but I kind of angled it. You might see the shine off of it. The same thing goes for the writing on the sides of the box as well. Box slides open, it's just standard black, and you have the fragrance that's inside. Now, pop this out. The fragrance actually comes with a kind of like a wooden top for it. The design of the Nasomatto bottles is pretty classy. I like the design a lot. The juice is actually dark. It looks like either dark black or dark green, one of the two. Usually when I hold it up to the light, it looks a little bit more green than it does black. But either way, it's dark juice. All right. Now, it also comes with a nice little, I guess, travel cap that you can actually pop the wooden cap off if you want to take it around, and go ahead and pop this cap on. And it says Nasomatto Travel on the top of it. It's a little hard to see, but that's the general presentation of this fragrance. Now, you can purchase this fragrance from a couple places, but most notably, this fragrance costs around $185. Actually, it is $185, not including tax. So it's very expensive. And on top of that, the size, as you may have noticed or not, is 30 milliliters. So it's a little bit smaller than most fragrances are actually accustomed to being. The fragrance was created by, I believe it's Alessandro Gautier. I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong because it looks very similar, but yes. He's the actual creator who has created pretty much all of the Nasomatto line. So he has that experience. Now, what are the notes of this fragrance? This fragrance consists of, I didn't really find a specific note listing for it. I saw one on Fragrantica, wasn't positive how accurate that was, but either way, you're going to get incense, cannabis, oud, tobacco, coffee, green notes, and there was one other note that I didn't actually write down. But either way, that's what you can get for notes. Now, what does this smell like? Before I actually dive into that, let me tell you a quick story. I grew up actually living in Korea. And while I was there, I had a friend named Philip. He was actually half Japanese, half Belgium. What he did was, he used to be kind of like our hookup guy. He used to go ahead and pretty much whatever we actually wanted or needed at the time. And I remember one time he actually came back with hashish. It's not something we requested, but it's kind of like a habit that he actually picked up. I'll never forget opening the actual bag that it came in and smelling inside and smelling the hashish from it. Now, what does this story have to do with Black Afgano? Well, the fragrance was apparently inspired to evoke the sensations or the feeling of hashish when you smell the fragrance. And I am here to tell you that it is absolutely, positively dead on. When I smelled this the first time, I thought of that time back when I was 13 and living in Korea, of that smell of hashish. It smells almost pinpoint exactly like it. That's what I get from this fragrance when I immediately take it off. It does not smell like weed. I've smelled weed before. It doesn't smell like burning weed. It doesn't smell like burning hashish. It smells like the hashish seeds and everything like that you have kind of all grouped there. It smells just like that. It took me right back to that time. So when people say that it doesn't smell like weed, you're absolutely correct. It doesn't smell like weed at all. And it's not supposed to smell like weed. Hashish is different from weed. So it smells, I got hashish right off the bat. Now for the rest of the notes that are kind of mixed in, I get a lot of incense. I get a lot of oud that's in the fragrance. A little bit of coffee. But ultimately, that's kind of what I get from it. As well, kind of a little bit of tobacco along with it, but really the tobacco and that kind of feeling are drowned out by the oud, incense, and hashish type smell that I get from it. It also comes across as a very heavy smoky scent. Now, the smoky scent that I think people are really getting from this fragrance is the hashish, or is what is supposed to be the hashishish quality of the fragrance. So it definitely is a fragrance that goes by there and lives up to that size. Now, for sprays, This is a very crucial part in this review. It is absolutely essential that you do not overapply this, and it is very easy to overapply. Half the spray to one spray is more than enough. And this is the first time probably that I've ever said in a review or recommended half of a spray of a fragrance. That is how powerful this stuff is. Even with just half a spray, people can smell you from over 20, 30 feet away. That's just how powerful this stuff is. Nobody really believes it until they actually try it. I'll never forget, I was having some of my coworkers smell this, and I was off in the corner, and I had just bought Black Afgano, and I was kind of, carrying it around. This was earlier in the year, maybe around January, February type thing. And I had sprayed some. I actually was in the corner of it. And, I'm sorry, in the corner of the office. And people all the way across, it had to be at least 30, 40 feet away, said, "What is that smell?" And I looked around and said, "What are you talking about?" And they came closer and they realized, yeah, it's you. It's whatever you just sprayed. We can smell it from all the way over there. I had not passed them. The time that had elapsed was about maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. So the smell, it traveled, and it was very strong and very distinct. So the moral of the story, be careful with your spray. Even if it might seem like you don't smell heavy or, that it's not that strong, trust me, it's strong. Hero's review, I think he was one of the first people to actually review this fragrance. Hero's review is dead on when he says that, one spray is more than enough for this fragrance. Trust me, trust Hero, trust what one spray is more than enough. I believe Frank also reviewed this fragrance too. One spray, more than enough. Now, for occasion, this is a tough part for it. While I mentioned those notes that the fragrance actually consists of, it's very hard to imagine where this fragrance is actually applicable to wear for. A more appropriate, I think, response would be not necessarily the occasion, but the type of person to wear this. The type of person who wears this is absolutely confident in themselves and their fragrance. They will not be offended by people who think it smells bad, because there will be people who think it smells bad. And because of its strength, they will smell it. So there is no hiding with this fragrance. This fragrance is very bold, and it's very demanding. So keep that in mind if you decide to buy this fragrance or if you decide to wear it. This is not one for the quiet people. It's not one for somebody who does not have the spine to be able to take the criticism or to even, shoulder the weight of this fragrance. Occasion-wise, I would put this at possibly a night out fragrance, not necessarily a date fragrance, but pretty much anyone who can fit, the type of person to wear this fragrance, well then you can wear this wherever the hell you want, because, that's the kind of strength that it takes to wear this. All right. Now, season, I'm easily going to have to say in colder weather, so fall or winter. Definitely winter first and foremost. Fall you can pull it off too, but towards the colder time. For ages, this is a very mature fragrance. I would recommend nobody younger than 30, maybe even older than that. Definitely a fragrance for older people. For projection and sillage, both are monsters. Both are just off the charts. Now, when I mentioned before that this fragrance is very aggressive and, provoking, here's some opinions of what people thought of it.
Shave. It's very weak. I don't know, this is like aftershave, this is not even cologne. This is something you would wear. Actually, I don't know why you would wear it, but I'll be honest with you. It smells like aftershave. I don't really care for this one. It's like a C-. It's very weak. C-, D+. Not great. Very weak. I don't like
this. Don't like it at all. I don't know. D. It smells kind of weird. I personally woun't want to wear it. It's just not a pleasant smell. I don't know what it is.
That's how I would do it, yeah. That's how I would have done it.
No.
No, whatever.
It smells like a doctor's office. F.
As you can see, people actually didn't find this fragrance too good at all. And that was the overall sense that I got from it. Comments like weak, that comment on weak actually. The funny thing is, after he made that comment, there was somebody who passed by who said, "What is that smell?" And they were a good 20 feet away. It's deceptively weak. It's not weak at all. You may think it's weak, but it's not. It smells like aftershave. I do kind of see where they're coming from with an aftershave vibe. It's weird, not pleasant. It smells like the doctor's office. Or, in some cases, whenever they smelled it, they just said no. One person who wasn't on the video, one of the funniest comments that I've ever heard about a fragrance, he said, "It smells like two gerbils having sex." So, take that for if you've ever smelled two gerbils having sex. I'm not sure what that smells like, but apparently this is what reminds him of it. Basically, this fragrance will immediately evoke some sort of reaction from somebody who smells this fragrance, whether it be good or bad. I've found it most of the cases bad, but yes. Now the ratings that they gave it, D+, D, and F. For a fragrance that I've gone through and reviewed by other people, it's definitely the worst marks. So, let's just get on to the actual ratings for this fragrance. For scent, I'm going to give this a C. Why am I not giving this a worse rating than a C for a scent? Well, because I find the fragrance to be okay, basically. I mean, it's definitely very unique. It's a very unique fragrance, but as far as, enjoyment goes, I didn't enjoy it at all when I first got it, but it started to wear on me and start to grow on me. For projection, I'm going to give this an A+. Again, projection, you really can't ask for more. It's all over the place in terms of projection. For sillage, I'm also going to give this an A+. People will know that you've been there, and they will know that you've been there 3 hours after the fact. Well, not 3 hours, but more like 30 minutes after the fact. They'll know you've been there. For uniqueness, solid A+ as well. The whole aspect of trying to create a fragrance that smells like hashish and evokes it and does it correctly, definitely an A+. Very unique fragrance. For longevity, I'm going to give this fragrance an A for longevity. I found that it lasts about 15 to 18-ish hours. It's very long. Basically, might as well even throw up to 24. But at that point, it's become more of a skin scent, and it's not projecting wildly like it is within the first, I would say, 8 hours or so. Okay? For versatility, I'm going to give this one an F. The fact that I can't really think of any scenario that I would, honestly just throw this in. This is definitely this type of fragrance, and it just leaves off one of those impressions that leaves to be desired. You have to be a certain type of person to wear this fragrance. Not necessarily just anyone can wear this for any specific occasion. You have to be a type of person. For that, it's going to get an F. For compliments, a D-. There were 2 or 3 people who did say that it didn't smell bad. They didn't said it smelled great. They said it didn't smell bad. But overall compliments for this one are not good at all. So compliment factor D-. And overall, I'm going to give this one a C-. There are just too many issues with this fragrance for me to actually warrant giving a really good rating, even though I find it, very unique, very, decently pleasing to me. It still has a lot of issues. It has, there are not many situations to actually wear it in. A certain person has to wear it. Not many people like it. It's hard to pull off. Easy to spray, comes across as weird, and it reminds people of bad things. You're gonna find I see a lot of reviewers who actually do like it, and here's where I draw my, I guess you could know, line. It's very nice as a scent, but I'm not sure if it's nice as something you would wear as a scent. And that's just pretty much the bottom line. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, leave a message, let me know. Do whatever you gotta do. Thank you, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.